Yeah, take a minute to count your blessings. Okay, we back from that. I know I changed my attitudes doing acrobat.
Alright, this magic trick, this magic trick's using jacks. The jacks are four brothers. The four brothers were planning on stealing a bank. The four brothers wanted to steal a bank, which wasn't the brightest idea we know. So, the jack of clubs, the jack of spades, the jack of diamonds, and the jack of hearts. The jack of hearts was their leader. The first jack went down to rob the cash registers. The next one went to rob the safe. And the final one went to rob the vault. The last one stayed on the roof to be a lookout. Like always, police came. They got scattered in the building. And the leader, being as smart as he had an escape copter waiting for all four jacks to escape. How to do the first part in the magic trick? You have two jacks on top, two jacks on bottom. And you hold it between your fingers, and when you flick, you keep the two jacks, one from the bottom, one from the top. And then the second time, you drop. You keep the other two jacks. That's what helps you hold on to them. And for the next step in the trick, you take the jacks and you go like this. You show the audience the jacks. You see what else I'm doing? I'm holding 3 more cards. These 3 cards will help us later on in it. So, what I do next is when I go to do this, I'm holding it open right back here with the 3 cards as well. The first jack, the jack of spades, and I slip it right under there. The jack of clubs, and the jack of hearts. Now you see what I have here. I have the rest of the cards and the jack. And then I push it back down so it's like flat. And the jack of diamonds was their leader. Any jack will be their leader. You can even do this with kings, aces, queens. And you can change up the story like a fire or etc. Like they're in a building and they're escaping fire. But the next step is you take the next card. You don't show them it. But you see how this is a 7? This one went to the first floor. And this one, the 8, went to the second floor. This one went to the third floor. So basically what you did now is basically you've shoved them down, leaving this, and then this one always stays on the roof. You push him anywhere else, you're going to lose his other 3 friends that are waiting right here. But basically you put them on the roof, and then you say whatever, and then you push them all in the deck. Once they go in the deck, they disappear. You can do whatever your magic thing is, where you hit the deck, snap, or slap it on the table. Or you can do a mixture of them. And then you say what they're doing there, and then you flip down all your cards. You can let them check the deck because there's no extra cards in it. But basically that's how that one works. This magic trick, you are going to take cards and go like this. You're going to do 4 rows with 4 cards each. This one's hard to do and show you because this one you have another person. So another person will pick a card. So we'll just say it's the ace of diamonds this time. But so they'll pick a card and they won't tell you. But they'll say, you'll ask, which row is it in? Row 1, 2, 3, or 4. They'll say row 3. And then basically they tell you row 3. So you go 1. You say you don't need to say this, but you pick up your piles, picking up the row they told you, 3rd, and then you pick up the rest of the cards. Once again, you place them back into new rows. You need to remember which row they told you it was in. So you gotta remember which cards were in the row. So now you'll ask again. They'll say row 1 this time. See, it's right there. They know. You don't know yet. By this time, you might have an idea. You might be down to 2 cards. Otherwise, you don't know. And you do it one more time. So, they'll say row 2 this time. But by now, you must know what it is. Otherwise, you won't know how to do the next part. So, they'll tell you that row. Now you pick it up as your first card. And you figure out which one. So, it'll be the second to last. So, you continue doing this until all the cards are picked up. Next step, you go like this. So, you start on the top and then go down. You don't flip them over. And you make bunches of... And this is it, because it was second to last. You wouldn't show them it, you just know it's right there. So now you'll ask them, point to 2 rows. Don't touch them, just point. So let's say they pointed to these 2. You know it's in there, so you'd take these ones and just put them off. So now you ask them to point to 1 pile. They point to this pile, let's say. You'll grab this one because we know the card that we want's in this pile. Right here. So, next, so now you ask them to point to 2 cards. They point to these 2. We know this one's it, so we take these 2. We ask them to point to 1 more card. They point to this one, we'll take it. So now, we just tell them, you can flip that card over. And you ask them, is that your card? And that's the Ace of Diamonds we knew from the beginning.